Good morning, friends. All right, this is chapter 9, lesson 9, introduction. So if you open your books to page 551, we can knock out this very last lesson of the school year. So here we have Sarah, Barb, and Aaron, and they each wrote a different expression. Remember that an expression is a number sentence without an equal sign and without an answer. So the expressions were 3 plus 5 times 2, 3 plus 5 in parentheses times 2, and 3 times 5 plus 2. All right, so the value of Barb's expression is 13. Okay, so that's a fact that we know. Barb's expression is 13. The value of Aaron's expression is an even number. Which expression did each person write? All right, so the value of Barb's expression is 13. The value of Aaron's expression is an even number. That's big. Let me make that small. Open that up. You're way too big. There you go. Okay. So what do you need to find out? We need to find out which expression did each person write. Which expression each person wrote. Did I say that funny? Which expression each person wrote. All right, so we need a plan. I will use logical reasoning to solve the problem. I'm going to make a table. Tables are always really great help in solving problems. And you know, we're math warriors, so we need a plan. We need to have a plan for the battle so that we can win this battle and win the math war, right? All right, so here's our plan. We have to have a strategy. So we know that Barb, her expression is going to equal 13. And you know that with order of operations, that multiplication and division come before addition and subtraction. You have to do the multiplication part first. So if I have to do multiplication first, I'm going to say, here's my multiplication sign. I'm going to say 5 times 2 first is 10, and then add the 3. 10 plus 3, 13. Just like we knew. Barb said that. All right, now let's see what the answer to this one is. Now, we know that before multiplication and division comes parentheses. So we're going to do what's in the parentheses first. 3 plus 5 is 8. And then we can come out of the parentheses and multiply times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. All right, I wonder if that's Aaron, because we know that Aaron's expression is even. The answer is even, and 16 is an even number. Let's look at the last one first. We've got our do multiplication first. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 more is 17. So the only even number here is 16, so that has to be Aaron. And by process of elimination, the last one, if Barb is 13 and Aaron is 16, then who's my last friend? Sarah. Sarah has to be the one who wrote this expression. And you can look over here at this chart. We have 3 plus 5 times 2. We know that that is the first one and it equals 13. The second one equals 16 and the third one equals 17. We know that Barb had 17. I'm sorry, Barb had 13. So we can put an X on either side so that, so the way this table is set up, each person will have 1 yes and 2 X's because each one of them only wrote one of the expressions. So this says that Sarah, yes, wrote this expression, and no, didn't write this one, no, didn't write that one. Barb wrote this expression, yes, but this one and this one are a no for Barb. She didn't write these. Aaron wrote this expression, but didn't write the first one or the third one. So each person has 1 yes in their column. 1 yes, yes, and yes. And the other 2 are no's. The X's stand for no's. Okay, so Let's look at it. Check. Does your answer make sense? Yes. Yes, it does make sense. The value, well, I guess that should be a lowercase t. The value of each expression matches the clues. Let's make that a whole lot smaller so it fits. You guys should be writing this. Ooh, I'm getting bigger instead of smaller. You guys should be writing this all along with me, okay? Copying it in your workbook page. All right, so that's to learn the strategy. Now let's look at the next page. All right, here we go. Practice the strategy. So Caleb, Ty, Joyce, and Lawanda each have one of 4 pets. All right, so they each have one. Ty does not have a dog or a fish. Joyce does not have a bird or a fish. Caleb has a cat, so that's a yes right there. What pet does each person have? Okay, so what facts do we know? I think I'm gonna just go ahead and shrink this right now down to a 16 and shrink this one down to a 16 because I'm afraid I'm gonna be writing a lot. So we know that the pets some of the people do not have, right? We know which ones they don't have. And we know that Caleb has a cat. That's what we know. What do we need to find out? All right, we need to find out the pet each person has right here. What pet does each person have? So we need to find out the pet each person has. All right. And the plan, what is the plan? What is the strategy? We are going to make a table to organize everything that we know. All right? Then we are going to use logical reasoning to find the answer. All right. You guys hear all that funny noise in the background? That is Joey. Joey wants to go outside, and it's too late for Joey to go outside. So he's mad, and Joey's in timeout anyway because Joey did something very bad to the caterpillars. We'll have to talk about that later. All right, so let's look quickly at a table. I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to get rid of that, and let's look at this table. All right, so I can't make it on the page 552 because that program won't let me do it, so I'm going to make it here. We know from the problem that Caleb does have a cat, right? Which means Caleb does not have a dog, Caleb does not have a fish, and Caleb does not have a bird. Correct? We know that Ty does not have a dog or a fish. So I'm going to put an X for Ty for dog and fish. He doesn't have those. And we also know that Joyce does not have a bird or a fish. All right, so Joyce does not have a bird or a fish. All right, it doesn't tell us anything about Lawanda, but I can see here that if Caleb doesn't have a fish and Ty doesn't have a fish and Joyce doesn't have a fish, Lawanda has to be the one that has a fish. It's the only one left. And if she has a fish, then she doesn't have a cat, she doesn't have a dog, and she doesn't have a bird. All right, so then if that is true, then look here. Caleb doesn't have a dog, Ty doesn't have a dog, Lawanda doesn't have a dog, then Joyce has to be the one that has a dog, which means she doesn't have a cat or a fish or a bird. We already knew that. And if that is the case, then Caleb has the cat, Joyce has the dog, well, LaWanda has the fish, so Ty must be the one that has the bird because he's the only one that doesn't have a pet, and that's the only pet that isn't claimed. Okay? So that's how you fill out one of those charts. Now, it gets a little tricky, but I think you guys, where's my preview? I think you guys can do it. So does your answer make sense? Yes. I organized what I knew in a table. I used logical reasoning. All right, so that's the end of page 552. I would like you guys to go on and do 553 and 554, numbers 1 through 9, and you can use the extra space in the My World to show your work because you know you want to note the evidence, right? All right, and I will come back to you tomorrow with a video of what happened with Joey and the caterpillars. It was a little bit shocking today, so I didn't make the video, but I'll figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow and I'll get back to you. So be expecting another email about our caterpillar friends. All right, guys, have a good day.